That's very good. मेरे शादी का फीलिंग आ रहा है। मदर गॉड रिक्वेस्ट। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So welcome all to Lilananda Prabhu's house. Let us thank Lilananda Prabhu and his kind parents. Your parents' names?
Raju and Chandrakala.
Raju Prabhu and
Chandrakala.
Chandrakala Mataji with 3 loud Haribol. Yeah. Your senses are limited. Who has the Mridanga? Is the Mridanga played here or under the? Yeah, no. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavana. Shri Govinda Gopi Natha Madana Mohana. Govinda Gopi Natha Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavana, Jaya Radhe, Krishna, Jaya Vrindavana, Shri Govinda Gopi Natha Madana Mohana. Shri Govinda Gopi
Chara Janavakada Padma Puriya Smarana Shri Janavakada Padma Puriya Smarana Krishna Dasa Kohe Nama Sankirtana Krishna Dasa Kohe Nama Sankirtana Bina Krishna Dasa Kohe Nama Sankirtana Krishna ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय ब्राह्मणाहिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्री गुरु दीनतारिणं श्री परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ओम पवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यत्स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्ष सभ्याभ्यन्तरं सुचेत्। श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। Hare Krishna to all elders here. Probably I can see some more elders here. Please give your blessings so we can do some spiritual class here. And Hare Krishna to all the guests. Today I was remembering Hare Krishna. Today I was remembering our small house in Gachibowli. And in Sri Nilayam apartments. So it was, this is a big house actually. It was 1/3 of this, right? 1/3 of this hall. And we used to have like 80 people coming, 80 devotees. Don't ask me how they used to sit. Right? So sometimes I used to sing kirtan, and yeah, so I was singing kirtan, and I used to see devotees coming in, and already everybody is packed. So whenever new people are coming, I could see that in the window, right? That they're also going to enter now. So then I used to close my eyes because I don't know where they'll sit. Right? I used to close my eyes and I'm chanting Hare Krishna. And after that, I used to slowly open my eyes, and somewhere they used to fit in. Somewhere, I don't know how. Every time new people will come, I'll close my eyes. You know where they'll fit, where Krishna will make them, and they'll go somewhere in between. They'll sit down. All the universe will expand. They'll somehow find their place. Right? So that's the beauty of being in a small house. And normally I never give any instruction because I'm not a guru to give instruction. But I'll give an instruction that in future everybody buy wooden dining tables so that we can sit on that also. Because we need more space. Isn't it? Every part, every morsel, every tile, every corner of the house is Krishna's.
We also did picture like a house.
We did
From morning till night.
Yes. That day everybody chanted 128, 108. I don't know how they chanted so many rounds. Right? That's the beauty of spiritual life. In spiritual life, there is space for everyone. Even right now, at least another 80 people can fit in. If you only close your eyes. If somebody enters, just close your eyes. And after some time, open. They'll fit in somewhere. Hare Krishna. So very grateful to Prabhuji for calling all of us. And Prabhuji is initiated by His Holiness Shankarshan Adhikari Maharaj. And what is Guru Mata's name?
Vishnupriya Devidasi.
Vishnupriya Devidasi Mataji and Shankarshan Adhikari Maharaj. Very, very knowledgeable and exemplifying couple in ISKCON society. Though he's a Grihastha, there are some Grihasthas in ISKCON they also initiate. And he is one among those. You can see Maharaj's picture on the left side. Yeah.
We went Maharaj and Mataji, Mayapur.
Oh, we did go there,
We went to
right?
their house.
Yeah, we went there. It's wonderful, Yeah. So we are fortunate that we have association with such Maharaj disciple here. And we are fortunate that we are able to do satsang in their house. Grihastha life is filled with surprises and is filled with so many complications, right? Who can understand more than this than all of us? But in that Grihastha life, when we bring Krishna in the center, it becomes sublime, it becomes meaningful, purposeful, right? Without Krishna, we can't imagine how to live in a Grihastha life. Two false egos fighting under the same roof, right? Giving birth to another false egos, right? And those false egos, parental false egos also will come. So together, at least 6 to 7 false egos in the same house. Impossible, right? Impossible. But when Krishna comes, all those false egos are removed. Like he removed the false ego of Kauravas. He removed the false ego of Pandavas also. And he said, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam. Right? So without that, what is the hope? So today morning, also in our house, at least 50 false egos came, including me. So we had a false ego relieving satsang. So it was nice when we have houses filled with satsangs. And in this society, we should pray that there are more and more satsangs. Because the only hope for happiness is satsang. Today morning in our house, everybody was sick. Almost everybody was sick, categorically. My father is, as it is sick. I was sick. My wife is sick. My younger son is sick. My elder son is sick. My maid also is sick. Right? My mother is, I don't know, she was okay. Right? And then we decided we'll cancel the satsang. We said, we'll do the satsang below in the basement floor. So morning 5 o'clock, after attending the Mangalarti today, I went down 5:30. I set up the whole place, saying in the house we can't have it. We'll have it under the basement. After I set up the whole thing, I realized that they're having some other function there. Some cooking started there. So then we brought the whole thing to our home again, at 7:30. And again we started. But all these ups and downs. But finally when all the devotees came and we did Kirtan, it was so nice. So life is also like that. Yes, Hare Krishna. You can keep it there on the tent. Some special prasadam is coming today. I don't know what it is. Buckets and buckets are coming. Yeah. So life is like that, filled with surprises. But when we practice Krishna consciousness, it becomes filled with happiness. Right? Whose house will have so many people? Tell me in today's day and time. We didn't even respect Corona for some time. Right? Corona was there everywhere. We were also there everywhere. We had our DT installation during Corona time. Right? Radha Gopi Vallabh appeared during Corona time. And they selected who all is supposed to come for that installation. Huh? And then we had the first Radhashtami in Corona time. We had the Janmashtami in Corona time. Like, what is that? Online Janmashtami. Remember that? People performing in the screen. Huh? And then we had the next Janmashtami in Corona time. We never cared about Corona. We did respect it a little for some time, but we went on. Right? And preaching increased like anything. There were so many new Prabhujis and Matajis who came to our satsang through online. Right? Dwarkadish Prabhu, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj. So many. Every Sunday was like a festival at one point, isn't it? Now it's so difficult to find them. Now I'm calling them, they're like, Prabhuji, no, we don't have time. Right? But Corona time, the whole world opened. And so many Prabhujis came and gave lectures to us. And I'm so happy to announce that Harinam Sankirtan and Srila Prabhupada's Mercy is going to many houses in Aparna Lake Breeze by Praveen Prabhu and Pooja Mataji. They had their first satsang yesterday. Hari Bol. So many new families are being saved from the clutches of Kali. And I think today morning, we also had Dasaraj Prabhu and Manasa Mataji starting in their house. Hari Bol. The first time I met you, Prabhuji, I really prayed to Krishna that you should become a teacher. Really, I had that. When we met in Bovara Swami Temple, I still remember. Mataji introduced you. As soon as I looked at you, I felt Krishna, Prabhupada should use this person. Looked very empowered, right? So let's wish all the best and all the great, fortune and blessings of Srila Prabhupada to both these families so that they can deliver and be a medium to deliver so many souls. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. We are all so small. We don't have any knowledge, no intelligence. But we are just passing on Krishna's message. Right? And all of us can do our part. Little by little. And there is a very important need for us to save our culture now. We are almost on a verge where our own people are going to smash our culture if we don't save it now. We have to save it, right? And the only way we can save is preaching. Preaching is the essence, Prabhupada told. Every single person here should preach. Recently, I was having a talk with Radhesham Prabhu. So he called me and he was asking, how did the Festival of Inspiration go? How did you all like this Festival of Inspiration? Very wonderful sadhus, isn't it? The world is filled with so many wonderful sadhus. So one Prabhuji was telling me, one new person came. So during lunch, Prasadam time was telling me that I thought he's a small boy. He was looking at Chaitanya Prasad Prabhu. I thought, Hare Krishna Prabhu, please come. You can get in there. Yeah. So he was saying, I thought he was a small boy until he went and sat on the Vyasasana. As soon as he sat on the Vyasasana, some special empowerment came out of him. And he started speaking so nicely. Right? And every single preacher in ISKCON is like that. Until he comes to the Vyasasana, he's like, Prabhuji. As soon as he sits, Prabhupada starts speaking through him. Right? And such a amazing discourses were given that day, inspiring us to serve Srila Prabhupada. Isn't it? Yeah. So I was telling Prabhuji that, we did have a long festival that day. It went on till almost 8:30. Yeah. The last discourse, I think, got over at 8 o'clock, if I'm right. And then we had a kirtan and we had dance, right? Dancing kirtan. Yeah. And then I told him that Prabhuji, we finished the Bhakti Shastri almost, right? So almost. Still one sloka test is there. And I have to write one of my things which I'm not getting time. I will finish it tomorrow, 100% Prabhuji. Prabhuji is chasing me. Finish it. Yeah. So I told Prabhuji that, Prabhuji, maybe Bhakti Vaibhav next. And Radheshwar Prabhu said no. Said no Bhakti Vaibhav. I was not expecting yeah. So he told, it's an important thing. Actually, today's chapter, 13th chapter, and what I'm going to tell is very related. So Radheshwar Prabhu told that goal of our ISKCON movement is not to become Jnana Yogis. It is not Jnana Yogis. It is to become Bhakti Yogis. Right? So Prabhu, he told, you can do Bhakti Shastri, but do it after 2 years. Sorry, Bhakti Vaibhav. You can do Bhakti Vaibhav, but do it after 2 years. Whatever you have learned in Bhakti Shastri, every single one of you preach in your house. Preach to your friends, preach to your neighbors, or help somebody who is preaching, but preach. Preach for 2 years and then you start Bhakti Vaibhav. Don't start next course immediately. Because Prabhuji told there are many who get into this rhythm of I'll do Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta, this course, that course, this course, and they even leave ISKCON after that. Because there is no bhakti, there is no service. They become very proud of knowledge. And knowledge also is an impediment. Krishna says at one point even knowledge is an impediment to go forward. Because knowledge binds you with so much unnecessary intelligence that sometimes you keep Krishna aside and the knowledge becomes primary. You only see how many of the Bhakti Shastri students are attending Satsang regularly. You will find that some people are not even coming to Satsang. They only want Bhakti Shastri. Right? They only want some knowledge. We are not after knowledge. Somebody like Radheshwar Prabhu who practices knowledge so much, literally he can speak so many verses from Bhagavatam spontaneously, told me that sometimes it's a burden to carry. Our goal is not to, our Guru Parampara never said you have to be so much, learn Shastras and learn verses and understand the essence. You can close the door. Yeah. So you don't have to, we have to learn knowledge, but we have to apply that knowledge more than anything. And we have to implement that knowledge in our life. And the most important thing to implement is 3 things. Vaishnava Seva, Namaruchi, Jivadaya. These 3 things we should implement. Vaishnava Seva, Namaruchi, Jivadaya. These 3 things should come. If they are not coming to you with all these courses and satsang, then the whole purpose is lost. Number 1, Vaishnava Seva. As soon as you see Vaishnavas, go down to them. Going down and going away is not right. You should go and ask the Vaishnava, how can I serve you? How can I help you in your service? Right? We should go and ask that Vaishnavas. Like small gifts that we gave, we're actually Vaishnava Seva because we are trying to make sure that their journey is, it is easy. They don't have the burden of carrying too much. So our psychology, Vaishnava Seva. Second is Namaruchi. We should develop the taste for chanting more and more holy names. Because in this age of Kali Yuga, there is no difference between name and Swayam Krishna. So we have to develop more and more taste. We have to chant more. We have to purify our consciousness more. And then the most important again is Jivadaya. Because without Jivadaya, we cannot preach. Lot of people, they start preaching, after some time they stop preaching. I'm not telling in every way, everybody has the same reason. But His Holiness Gaur Maharaj, great sannyasi in ISKCON, he told, it is impossible for a Krishna devotee to stop preaching. It's impossible, he told. It is impossible for a Krishna devotee to stop preaching. Why? Because preaching means Jivadaya. Right? When you look at people suffering in this material world, how can you stop giving them medicine? Actually, you can switch off. There can another 50 people can sit here. I think. If you close your eyes. Are you all fine? If more people come, we'll switch off the projector. We don't need that. We can use the mobile phones for seeing the verses. So, Jivadaya is very, very important. Actually, do we have Jivadaya? See, Jivadaya is such a principle that just now when we were entering the house, right? When Mataji tries to cruise between two cars, Dasarath Prabhu's car was there, Prabhuji's car was there, and she couldn't gauge the exact distance in between she went through. And luckily, it didn't result in a big accident. Had she gone a little more, 3 cars would have been smashed one side, right? So luckily she stopped. What did we feel after that incident? Did we feel we should go and shout at that person? Did we feel we should go and tell that person, don't you know how to drive? Or if you are a Krishna devotee, like Gaur Maharaj, you would go there and tell her, okay, anyway, your car is damaged, why don't you keep it aside and come to Satsang? That is called Jivadaya. And that's exactly what Prabhupada had. He had Jivadaya. He could not tolerate, he could not see people suffering. And he cannot stop preaching. He cannot stop. How can you stop preaching? You know the solution, right? You know the solution for all problems is lack of Krishna consciousness. If you become Krishna conscious, then automatically you'll be happy. Please come on. Yeah? If you become Krishna conscious, automatically all problems are solved. You can remove that. You can remove the project.
Can you turn it off?
Can you turn it off and two times. 1, 2. Yes. You can bring the projector here. Yes. Hurry. Yeah. Now all can sit freely. Right? So these sannyasis, whenever they see any problem outside, immediately they find only one solution. What is that solution? Give them Krishna consciousness. Any problem, calamity, hunger, disease, give them Krishna consciousness. Because they know that the moment a soul recognizes itself with the super soul, itself with Krishna, it will feel happy. It will get relieved from all the pain. How many of you know that you are all multi-billionaires? Do you know that? We don't know. That's the reason we are suffering. We are trying to save money, we are trying to buy a house, we are trying to, do so many settlement plans. But all of us are multi-billionaires, Baba. Does it give a good feeling? It is feeling is coming. You're all multi-billionaires. Only one incident is separating us, death. After we die, we're all multi-billionaires. Because Krishna is a multi-trillionaire. Right? And we are all children of Krishna. We all will go back to a place where no saving account, no current account, nothing is needed. Right? Do we have faith in that? How many have faith in that? Really? So don't be tense, Baba. Why are you worried about your financial planning, all that planning? Nothing. Don't worry. This life is just going to pass. Yes, it's going to pass. After some time, you'll die. Whatever financial planning you did, some hospital will take it. Sunshine, Care Hospital, Apollo. Somebody will take it. All your properties have to go there only. And the hospital fellow's property also will go to another hospital. What is that? Sunshine Hospital's hospital? Guruvareddy. That fellow will also somewhere give his property and go. In one hospital only. That is where it is going to go, right? And all this body that we have, whatever, where we are proud of our hairstyle, somebody is proud of his nose, somebody is proud of his eyes, somebody is proud of his hair, right? Somebody is proud of his build. All this will become 3 things. What is it? Stool, ash, and earth. That's all. Just imagine, close your eyes. 80 piles of ash is here in the house, right? That's all. 80 piles of stool is there here, right? Or 80 piles of dust is there here, right? If you really see, that is the vision of a Acharya. That's all he sees. All these bodies are nothing, useless. Useless. Right? All the properties are useless. All that the soul needs is connection back to Krishna. Connection back to Krishna. That is the most important thing. And when we are establishing that connection, we'll find that happiness. So today's chapter on Bhagavad Gita, it is second. You all can go to vedabase.com. You all have mobiles, I'm sure. So go to vedabase.com and go to 13th chapter, chapter 13. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Manu Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Please come here. Yeah. Thank you for coming. So you can go to 13th chapter. So Krishna here is dealing with Jnana Yoga. Right? So the first 6 chapters is what? First 6 chapters is what? Karma Yoga. Right? How to, because the soul can't sit quiet. It has got a body. So he'll keep doing something. Now, how to use that something in service of Krishna is the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Karma Yoga. Right? How to go towards Bhakti Yoga using Karma Yoga. This is the first 6 chapters. And we discussed about Nishkama Karma Yoga, Sakama Karma Yoga, right? Karma with knowledge, Karma with action, Karma with so many angles. We understood Karma Yoga. Right? Then, after introducing Karma Yoga, then Krishna told Bhakti Yoga. Why he told Bhakti Yoga after Karma Yoga? He told Bhakti Yoga after Karma Yoga because he knows that now that everybody is tuned to work and come towards Bhakti, now let me tell them everything about Bhakti, everything about devotion. He told everything, right? And after telling Bhakti Yoga, finally he told how devotees can surrender to him in 12th chapter. He showed his Vishwarupam. He also showed how much his devotees are great. And in 12th chapter, he told what all kinds of devotees can approach him. You can surrender completely. If you can't surrender completely, at least surrender your work. If you can't surrender your work, at least surrender the results of the work. If you can't surrender the results of the work, at least work. Right? And at least offer your time to Krishna by taking his knowledge. He ends with saying, take my knowledge, at least. Right? That is how he ends the 12th chapter, saying that at least take the knowledge. And then, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Some special prasadam is coming. Yeah. He says, at least take knowledge. And that is exactly, he starts the 13th chapter with knowledge. Right? Now, why Krishna is speaking knowledge after giving Bhakti Yoga? He told Karma Yoga, how we should go to job, how we should do our appraisals, how we should maintain our status quo in the workplace, how our business, whatever, right? And how we should dedicate our life to Krishna. And then he told Bhakti. And then again he's coming to Jnana. Why? Everybody tell why? What is the need to come to Jnana again? Because 13th chapter to 18th chapter is again Jnana Yoga.
Bhakti has to become very strong.
Bhakti has to become very strong. Because Krishna also knows, he tells in 12th chapter, 17th verse, he says that my devotees who are trying to approach me will also have obstacles. They will also have obstacles. What kind of obstacles? Senses will not allow them. Right? Their senses will not allow them, their past conditionings will not allow them. Then Krishna, what he says, okay, let me give them knowledge also. So that even if they deviate, this knowledge will allow them to come back. You follow? See, sometimes when you want to tell people Krishna consciousness, right? When you want to spread the knowledge of Krishna to somebody, you try to tell them that, Prabhuji, practice chanting, practice, coming to Satsang, practice, doing Mangalarti in your house. But they're not understanding. They're like, I don't know whether I can do it. I don't know whether. And then what will you do? They're like going away now. They're like, Hare Krishna. Please, you can. They're like going away now. Right? So what will you do? The last thing that you can do before somebody is leaving you, what can you do? You want to help him, but you don't know how to help him, but you want to help him. So what will you do at the end? What is the last attempt that you'll do? Prasad to de diya. Give some knowledge. Give a Bhagavad Gita. Prabhu, take this and go. Right? Because it will help you. Maybe someday you'll open it. Someday when you are in trouble, you'll open it and the knowledge will bring you back. That is exactly what Krishna is doing from 13th chapter to 18th chapter. He already told Bhakti Yoga. Now he's going to give the knowledge so that even if you deviate, that knowledge will bring you back to Krishna consciousness. Right? So some Prabhujis, for easy understanding sake, they say that Bhakti Yoga is like a sandwich, like a burger. There is a bread on the top, there is a bread in between, the real chunk is in between. Right? The real sandwich, what you want to eat is in between. So here is Karma Yoga, here is Jnana Yoga, in between is Bhakti Yoga. But in order to maintain and hold that Bhakti Yoga, you need Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga also. Right? Otherwise, you can't hold it. You can't hold it. It might fall. Right? So you need that. So Bhakti Yoga, in this chapter especially, Krishna speaks of knowledge. Of knowledge. And there is nothing beyond 13th chapter knowledge. 13th chapter tells everything. Who is Jiva, who is Ishvara, Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnana, Jnaya. Jnana means knowledge, Jnaya means that which needs to be known. There is so much knowledge everywhere, but what needs to be known? What needs to be known? What is the most important thing to be known is Jnaya. Jnaya, they say. Right? And what is the most important thing to be known? Huh?
Relationship with Krishna.
Relationship with Krishna. What is the difference between matter and spirit? If we can understand these two things, Prabhupada and Mataji, what is matter, what is spirit, we'll be happy in life. Problem is, we are putting our spirit and getting attracted to matter. That is the problem. Spirit should be attracted to super soul, to Krishna, but it is getting attracted to matter. And because it is getting attracted to matter, we are not happy in life. Why we cannot be happy if we get attracted to matter? Because matter is temporary. And what are the problem? It's perishable, it's temporary. And it is asat, achit, nirananda. Right? It is not eternal, it is temporary, and is filled with deterioration. With every passing year, it will deteriorate. See, somebody was long time back when I went to some apartment, right? I'll tell you where was that. In Gandhinagar, near to Gandhinagar, there is an apartment community. When you're going from Gandhinagar to RTC Crossroads, there is an apartment community. And it was very famous apartment community. Newly constructed, one of the first apartments in Hyderabad city, you can say. Right? And my friend called me to her home. So I went there. And then, what is that apartment? Huh? It comes to that limit. Light possibility. Yeah, Balaji Enclave. Something like that. Huh? I don't remember exactly. But I went there. She was so proud. And I was like, oh, apartment community means like this. Because normally we only had individual houses. No? You open the gate, you press the bell, and you go inside the house. Such a good life we had.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad, no, right? Right? Everybody would come, knock the door, and take or give. It's such simple life, isn't it? And then when she showed that apartment community, I was like, wow, what apartment community, you know? So many houses in one place. And that time she showed this is a common community hall. I was so amazed. I was doing my, I think, first year of my CA, sometime in 97, like that, right? So, yeah. Just close your eyes. People settle down. Yeah. 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 So I was so amazed and she was so proud. And she was telling me, we bought this, how much? I asked, what is the cost of this? She said, 22 lakhs. I said, what? 22 lakhs is spent to buy this apartment? Like that. See, none of your eyebrows are going up because 22 lakhs, you don't get a bathroom also. 22 lakhs, you need a bathroom also. What to speak of apartment? That is 22 lakhs. 22 lakhs, you bought this apartment? Like that. Then after leaving her house, I went around all the blocks, just like that. So I want to explore. How does apartment living mean, like that. I went around here, there, here. Now recently, I was going through that way and there was a traffic jam in that place. I was just before that apartment community and I didn't realize. Then I was jammed there. So I was sitting in the car and then I saw left side. I saw that apartment community. Right? Absolutely, gone case. Apartment is all gone. Tree, plants are growing on the walls. Right? No paint. Right? It's completely, smashed out. Right? So I was thinking how the material world is. Right? How the material world is. And some of us here are proud of your apartments. Right? Whatever that lakhs or crores it is. One day even that will become like that. Right? Your son will go in front of their apartment. My parents should stay here like this. That's all it is. Just a matter of time. Everything will deteriorate. Right? If you are attached to that apartment, if you are attached to that house, one day you will say, so that is how the world is. That is how you will feel proud and you will feel also, as time passes by, there will be no value to it. Right? No, me and my wife are talking and so we are like, okay, we have a little bigger apartment now. Right? Then suddenly there was a launch brochure of one more apartment. Really? It's even bigger than this? We should have gone for that. Should have gone for this. So you're not satisfied with what you have also. Right? And let me tell you, the bigger the apartment, the bigger the house, you are dealing with a big danger of going away from Krishna. Because if your house is small, everything is for Krishna. If your house is big, then you start allocating that space is for Krishna, this is for our things. You follow what I'm saying? Huh? If I have this, we'll do satsang. Now it's difficult because this area is only for satsang. There you can't do satsang. There we have our things. But when your house is small, everything is for Krishna. As long as you maintain that consciousness, as long as you not forget that Krishna is more important than our apartment or our house or our villa or whatever it is, we'll be happy in life. You use every morsel of place for Krishna. Like right now in Mayapur, I heard recently that even going to Mangalarti is a problem now because there is no space to stand. Even during non-festival times, that big Chandrodaya Mandir, the old mandir where the deities are Radha Madhav deities. 4 o'clock in the morning, they're stopping people outside saying you can't enter now. So is it a good problem or a bad problem? Good problem. Right? At one point, there was so much space. People would easily go and come. Now there is no space. Even for Gaur Arati, there is no space now. And that is the reason Prabhupada already planned that we should have a bigger temple coming up. And now we have a bigger temple coming up where 10,000 people can lift their hands and chant Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. 10,000 people on a single floor seeing Radha Madhav deities. How many have seen Radha Madhav deities? How many have seen? You have not seen Radha Madhav deities? Life is waste. What is the use? Don't be proud of anything in life until you go and see Radha Madhav deities. Right? Until you see Panchatattva. Right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is standing like this. Nityananda Prabhu is standing like this. Huge deities. Right? That is a sight to see in this world. Switzerland, Netherlands is all useless. You should go and see that. If you have time, go to Mayapur and see these deities. before you die, I want to take darshan of those deities. Right? Can we close the door someone? Sorry. So, coming to the 13th chapter, Arjuna is saying we can go to the, if you all have the mobiles, go to the first two verses 13.1 and 13.2. Right? Please repeat translation after me. We already covered 3 verses in the last satsang. Yes, question.
Like once we go back to Krishna, again we'll never come back. I mean, like we have so many yugas, right? Cycle is happening. So, like every cycle will come back, or else, like
we are not supposed to come back. Yeah. There is no Kali Yuga in spiritual world. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga is only for the material world. Yeah.
So, like ideally, so all population should vanish, right? Like people are keep on going, so they are not coming back. Ideally, population should come.
No, we have so many people, other people in the flats, right? There are so many people in my own Krishi, my own Avatar. They'll come back, don't worry. There will always be rebellions, population. Not everybody will go to Krishna. Krishna wants everybody back. Krishna wants everybody back. Krishna doesn't want a material world. God doesn't want a material world. No king wants a prison in his kingdom. But prison is needed. Because there will be some people who will rebel. Always they'll rebel. Right? So material world is a prison. And because we have rebelled, we are here. Once we are revived, we will go back to Krishna. And after that, we are not supposed to come back. But after going there again, if we start nuisance, we'll again come back. We'll again come back to the prison. Right? So Krishna says that once spiritual soul sees the material world, it doesn't come back. Once we have gone through what we are going through right now, not only in this life, but many, many lives in the material world, 90 Mamiti Swarthama, it will not come back. It doesn't want to come back. How many here want to come back? You want to come back?
Not like that. Maybe like what I'm thinking. Like when I'm small, I used to have one doubt.
Yeah.
See, this is you came here for a trip to just enjoy in an ethical way, and you go back. Why you are suffering like this is what I want to go back. I want to go back. You just treat this as a trip. You just gain knowledge. You enjoy. You be in a dharma marga, and you go back. Why you want to hurry? Like even you came to trip, but if you go to trip, right, you will not be hurry to go back. So you just enjoy the trip.
Yeah.
So that one I am having from now.
Yeah. So Prabhuji, vacation trips we plan. Our this trip Yamaraja's planned. That is the difference. I'm just repeating what I heard.
Business trip.
It's not this like forced business trip.
Forced business trip.
This I didn't plan. I didn't want to take birth like this. But I was thrown here. How? Right? Now I'm thinking, hey, how to come out of this? But we have a choice. Krishna gives a choice. Next birth you can plan. Next birth you can make sure that you don't take birth again. You don't take birth. You can plan that next birth. But this birth you don't have a choice. You already are here. Reputation has happened. So you have to come here, you have to suffer, you have to go through whatever you are going through. So this is not actually a vacation trip. We have not come here with our choice. At least I don't remember. Anybody remembers here? Why you came to this? Did you choose this planet? Mars, Pluto, Earth. Did you choose? India, Switzerland. Did you choose to take birth here? No. None of us know. Because it is planned by Yamaraj. So he knows, oh, your desire. Your desire to keep pressing like this, become a software engineer. How? Go press the keyboard. Like some programmer is there, he's feeling, what a code I'm writing. There also, Chitragupta is coding for him. How? Right? Select Lilanandas. If he wants to come back, then he'll suffer. PLSPL. That's all right.
No go to statement.
Huh?
No go to statement.
No go to statement. All here. All here. Going through so much trauma, Prabhu. So much trauma. Nobody is happy. Nobody is happy. They are trying to be happy. We are trying to be happy. But nowhere we are finding perfect happiness. How many here got married to suffer? You tell me.
Yeah, Rama.
Both the left and right.
The question is the same.
Did you get married to suffer?
The answer is
Yes or no?
Key question.
Huh? You still have a doubt? None of us wanted to suffer. Huh?
Even if we know answer, we can't
None of us wanted to suffer.
Yeah.
We actually got married because we want to be happy. I'm not speaking beyond. Right? So all our endeavors are to be happy only. When we bought a house, we want to be happy. Right? When we bought a car, we want to be happy. When we got married, we want to be happy. When we have children, we want to be happy. But the commonality in all the statements is we want to be happy. But none of it is coming. How many are still settling down in life? Lift your hand. Has there anybody who settled in life? Nobody. Nobody.
Mahaprastha.
Even, huh?
Mahaprastha. Settle the place.
Yeah. Even an old fellow, with half teeth gone is thinking, Manor settle like that. Right? There is only one settlement when we are sedimented, settled under the ground. So, in material life, I'm not being sarcastic towards material world, but the truth is that there is no happiness here. Everything is temporary and filled with misery. Anything we get attached to in this world will give us suffering. Anything. Even our own relationships, our own children, we get attached to them, they'll give you suffering. Right? Yeah. So the knowledge, I don't know why we went in this direction. Why you went in this direction? You asked a question.
Education.
Yeah. Where in a hurry?
Do we come back or this is tourist destination?
Yeah. Even if we have one attraction in this material world, we'll come back. Even one attraction. There is a ritual. Actually, there is a ritual in villages. That when a person is dying, they go and ask him, what do you want to eat? Have you heard of this?
Yes.
They go and ask, right? If he tells Gulab Jan, not a book, that's how. Why? Because they don't want him to come back. They don't want him to come back. They give them whatever desire you have, tell me what desire you have. Right? So that they don't come back like that. If we have one desire in this material world, we'll come back. So it is very good thing if we are being tortured here. Because we'll not have any desire. We'll not have any desire. We should intensely pray, that if we are really Acharyas, they never ask for any happiness. Srila Prabhupada, how much did he enjoy life? He's an Acharya, showing with his example. Did he have a cooperating wife? No. Did his children become exemplifying devotees? Now, some of his children are coming back and praising Jagat Guru Acharya. I don't know how much of it is true, but one of his grandchild or child came and sued ISKCON that they want the property back. It went to that extent. See, Acharya's children are like that. So not everybody, but I heard like that. Maybe if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But point is, Srila Prabhupada through his own life showed that nobody will be with you. This journey is alone. For all of us, it's alone. But by being married, our wife will help us. Our children might help us. Will all our children become devotees? We'll pray that they should become devotees. But they may or may not become devotees. It's not in our hands. It's not in our hands. So let us not plan to come back. If you have a husband who is torturing you day and night, please do worship of that husband. Because that husband is very much needed. So you don't have any husband again. We only have one husband, Krishna. Right? If you have a wife who is making your life miserable, she is a worshipable wife. If you have a child who is ready to loot and throw your properties, he is the best asset you have. Because he'll make you remember Krishna every day. Right? That's why Kunti Maharani prays, hey Krishna, give me that miseries. So I remember you. It's very high philosophy. Anything in this material world, if it is getting attracted, if you're getting attracted to that, except Krishna, we are in trouble. In big trouble. We'll come back. So here Arjuna is asking. You can see the translation in your mobile phones. If that's okay. Please repeat after me. Arjuna said, "Oh my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, and the field, and the knower of the field, and of knowledge, and the object of the knowledge." The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "This body, O son of Kunti, is called the field. And one who knows this body is called the knower of the field." Right? So here Arjuna is asking, what is Kshetra? What is Kshetrajna? Right? What is nature? What is Purusha? So how many Purushas are sitting in this room right now? Approximately? No Purusha. No Purusha. Don't even be in that illusion. So how many are male and female here? You can tell that. That's okay. Yeah, there are male and female here. Male bodies, female bodies. Soul is not male or female. Soul is Prakriti. Remember that. Prakriti means that which has to be enjoyed. Prakriti is enjoyed by Purusha. There is only one Purusha, Krishna. Prakriti is represented by Srimati Radharani. And her expansion comes all the way to Bhadra, Subhadra, Durga, and we all get the bodies through her. Right? So we all got the bodies and we are supposed to be enjoyed by Krishna. When we are enjoyed by Krishna, we'll be happy. When we are not allowing Krishna to enjoy us, somebody else will enjoy us. And we'll suffer. Right? So here the question is, so who is Purusha? So are we not Purushas? Yeah, we are little Purushas. But he is the Parama Purusha. We are little Purusha. Prabhupada explains that we are little Purushas. Right? We are all enjoyers. We are all having the propensity to enjoy. And there is nothing wrong with it. We want to enjoy. But we are more enjoying when we are being enjoyed. When we are being enjoyed by God, then we are more happy. Right? Little Purushas we are. So, Prakriti. We are all part of the Prakriti. And Krishna says that according to my order, this Prakriti functions. Right? What is that verse? Maya Dhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacha. Hetu Nanena Kauntaya Jagat Viparivartate. Right? According to my order, Durga is functioning. And the entire Prakriti is functioning. As long as this is happening like that, everybody is happy. We'll go to this chapter is a very, very technical chapter, actually. But it's very interesting chapter also. During last week, I was hearing many, many discourses on this chapter. Whenever I was getting time, little time. And I heard from His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, His Grace Radhesham Prabhu. I heard from His Holiness Radhanath Swami, my own Guru. I heard a little bit of Prabhupada. Then finally, I was hearing from Braj Vihari Prabhu. Right? But I couldn't finish that. And the more I was hearing, I was amazed that, my God, such an important chapter in Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is speaking everything about knowledge. Actually, if there is something called knowledge in this world, everything is there in this chapter. That's all it is, right? After that, it's more how do you deal with that knowledge? In Tamoguna, Rajoguna. Next chapter is what? 3 modes of material nature. Right? Yeah. So next verse, 13.3. 1 second, I'll just. You all have it on your screens? Yeah. Kshetrakyam chapi mam vidhi. Kshetrakyam chapi mam vidhi. Sarva kshetreshu bharata.
सर्वक्षेत्रेषु भारत
सर्वक्षेत्रेषु भारत
सर्वक्षेत्रेषु भारत
क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञोर्ज्ञानम्
क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञो ज्ञानम्
क्षेत्रज्ञोर्ज्ञानम्
क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञो ज्ञानम्
यत्तत् ज्ञानं मतं मम
यत्तज्ज्ञानं मतं मम
यत्तत् ज्ञानं मतं मम.
यत्तज्ज्ञानं मतं मम.
So now Krishna is further elaborating the answer. Please repeat after me. Translation purport by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes. O Skyauna Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower of all bodies. And to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. That is my opinion. Right? So he is saying that you should understand that I am also the knower of all bodies. Right? He is very, very clearly saying I am also. There is a specific word in Matam Mama. Yat tat jnanam matam mama. I am also. So clearly in this verse, Krishna is saying that there are two people sitting in our heart right now. One is us, and second is Krishna. Kshirodakshay Krishna. Very clearly saying. And we should not forget that. Because a lot of Mayavadis, what they say, there is only one person sitting inside. Why will Krishna say, you are in that body and I am also there? He can simply say that we are there or I am there. He can say that, right? Specifically he is saying, Matam Mama, I am there. Right? And he is saying, by me being there, I not only know your body, but I also know all the other bodies. Right? I know the field of activities of every living entity. Suppose there is an ant on the floor right now in front of you or behind. Can you tell where the ant is going? Krishna can tell where the ant is going. Just imagine, or we can't imagine the greatness of Krishna, that Krishna is sitting here. If Krishna comes and sits here, he knows everything about everybody and what we are going to do now and what we want to do, what we are trying to do, what we are not able to do, what we will eventually do, and what we will do after thousands of lives also. He knows. What kind of data science is this? Right? Just imagine what kind of algorithm is this? He knows everything. So you can't fiddle with, you can't cheat Krishna. You can't cheat Krishna. Shakuni told Duryodhana, as long as that son of Devaki is that side, I can't do anything for you. Whatever plan I do, that fellow is going to smash it up. Whatever I do. When Duryodhana came back from Dwarka, he came and told his mama that, Mama, we got Narayani Sena. Mama. Right? If you make a Telugu serial out of it, Telugu dialogue of Shakuni will be, "We savunu zavu." What did you get? You idiot, you should have got Krishna. You left Krishna there. Whatever I wanted to do, he's going to smash it. Forget about it. Right? So Shakuni knew. Shakuni was not a fool. He knew exactly what is going to happen. But he was so envious and so angry on Bhishma that he continued his battle. He continued his own personal battle of destroying Kauravas. Actually, Shakuni is the one who destroyed the Kauravas and wantedly did it. Because Bhishma attacked his kingdom and asked for his sister not to marry to Pandu, but to a blind Dhritarashtra. His ego was so hurt that he decided, I am going to smash entire Kauravas family. And he was very happy in a way, when every time, yeah, but there are so many internal fights happening between, some people say, whole Mahabharata is a battle between Dhritarashtra and Krishna. And some say that it's a battle between Bhishma and Shakuni. Right? And some say it's a battle between Kauravas and Pandavas. So it's a battle between false egos and surrender, in a way.
So Prabhuji, Shakuni knew that Krishna will eventually destroy.
Yes, he knows, he very much knows. There is no doubt, he knows. And he actually decided, there is this Kali Yuga aspect, right? Nenu bagupadakapena parledu, vaadu bagupada. I don't know how to tell in English. Even if I don't get, he should not get. Right? Shukuni was like that. Let me die, but I'll make sure these all people will die. Because you are proud, right, Bhishma, that nobody can question you. You are proud, right, that you could take my beautiful sister. And Gandhari was very famous in her kingdom for her beautiful eyes. People say, what a beautiful eyes she has from her childhood. And what she did after marriage? She tied her eyes. That was even more painful to Shakuni.
Plus, they put all of them in the jail and they give one morsel later.
Yes.
And all of them give soup to Shakuni.
You should take the revenge. See what revenge can do. Right? What revenge can do. It destroyed everything because of that one act of Bhishma. But anyway. So here Krishna is saying that I am that super soul within you and I know everybody's body and everybody's activities, everybody's kshetra. I am kshetrajna, higher kshetrajna. So in this chapter, if you see, there are two levels. Little Purusha, greater Purusha. Little Kshetra, greater Kshetra. Little Kshetrajna, greater Kshetrajna. There are 6 characters we are dealing with in this chapter. Right? Complicated? Yeah, anyway. And finally, Krishna says, that is my opinion. Why does Krishna say that is my opinion? Arjuna already finished. 12th chapter he finished Bhagavad Gita. He doesn't need anything more. He already knows he is the God, Supreme Lord. 11.55. Can anyone read the 11.55 verse? Does anyone have Bhagavad Gita here? Sorry, it's handy. Yeah? You can give it to me, bro. Yes. 11.55 is, your Bhagavad Gita is completed there. He says, please repeat after me. Mat karma kran mat paramo mat bhakta sangha varjita nirvairai sarva bhuteshu nirvairah sarva bhuteshu yasamam eti pandava. So what Krishna is saying here, my dear Arjuna, he who engages in my purification service, free from contaminations, of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Chapter close. Over. Bhagavad Gita. He certainly comes to me. He told, if you become my devotee, it's over. And after that, Arjuna says, yes, you are my supreme Lord. Bhagavad Gita is finished there. 13th chapter is additional annexures of Bhagavad Gita. You are getting more into knowledge, Jnana Yoga. But conclusion is already there. Done. Who becomes my devotee? 9118. Whose over Vahan it is? You can remove it. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. So, Hare Krishna. Yeah. So that is my opinion. Why is he saying that it is opinion? That is where the question was. Why is he saying that that is my opinion? Yeah. Yes, we are almost there. Almost there.
Especially for Jnanis.
Acharyas have explained why Krishna says that that is my opinion. If you look at it, for a devotee, entire Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's opinion only.
Right.
So why specifically he is saying this is my opinion?
For Jnanis especially.
This is a checkpoint. This is a checkpoint.
For
Okay.
Jnanis. Yeah. For Jnanis especially.
For the person who is not willing to surrender to Krishna, he will stop at this verse and he'll go home. That is, oh, Krishna's opinion. Who wants his opinion? He'll go with. Right? But if he understands that Krishna's opinion is the instruction, he will stay back and Bhagavad Gita will continue. So Krishna is trying to keep his spiritual world secured from all of us. If you're not ready to come here, you stay there. No problem. Wherever you want to stay, you stay. But that is my opinion when he says that for us, it is not his opinion. For us, it is his instruction. He's telling us that he is Kshetrajna. He is the knower of everything. We'll go forward. Are you all following so far?
Yes.
I'm not following. I don't know. It's a very, like I can say, intriguing chapter. Yeah. Let's go to 13.4. If you have the verse in front of you. Yeah. Takshetram yat cha yadrik cha yat vikari yatascha yat sa cha yo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shrinu. Yes, please repeat after me. Translation. Now please hear my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted, what its changes are, when it is produced, who the knower of the field of activities is, and what his influences are. He's basically telling you the entire material world. In one verse, he's going to tell that I'm going to tell you how the material world functions. Right? Professor Matra is a very advanced knowledge. A lot of people in the world don't know. A lot of scientists don't know. Scientists can tell how the world functions, but scientists can't tell why the world was created. No scientist can tell that. Why the world was created, they don't know. How it is happening, they can create Discovery Channel, this channel, that channel, can tell. But why it was created, nobody knows, isn't it? Scientists can tell, कुत्ता ऐसा होता है, 4 पैर हैं, एक पूंछ है. पूंछ क्यों है? वो भगवान ही जानता है कि नहीं? Scientists can't tell why dog has a tail. Scientists can tell dog has 1 tail. That's all. In the same way, all that knowledge is very, very limited. But here Krishna is going to reveal the field of activity. Everything that you need to know is there in these verses. Please focus. Let's read Prabhupada's purport. The Lord is describing the field of activities and the knower of the field of activities in their constitutional positions. One has to know how this body is constituted, the materials of which this body is made. What are the materials we are made of? Earth, fire, air, water, ether, space. No, we are made of 26 elements. That is what Krishna is going to tell. We only know 5 elements. Now Krishna is going to tell that we are actually made of 26 elements. Let us understand that. Under whose control this body is working, how the changes are taking place, where from the changes are coming, what the causes are, and what the reasons are, what the ultimate goal of the individual soul is, and what the actual form of the individual soul is. One should also know the distinction between the individual living soul and the super soul, and their different influences and their potentials, etc. One just has to understand this Bhagavad Gita directly from the description given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all this will be clarified. But one should be careful not to consider the Supreme Personality of Godhead in every body to be one with the individual soul, the Jiva. This is something like equating potent and the impotent. Right? How many super souls are there in this hall right now? 1. How many individual souls are there in this hall right now? In human bodies, at least 80 of us. Right? But there are many, many more souls around. Right? Many, many more souls. Even ants, spiders, bacteria, everything has the soul sitting inside. Isn't it? Yeah. But how many super souls we have? Only 1. So that is Super Kshetrajna. Right? Now Krishna is going to get into the further level of detail. Please focus. If you don't focus, 2 things can happen. Either you'll get sleep or you'll get confused. Chapter is like that. Right? Yeah. Please repeat after me. 13.5. Rishibhir Bahuda Geetam Chandobhir Vividhai Prakat Chandobhir Vividhai Pratak Brahma Sutra Padaischaiva.
Brahma Sutra Padaischaiva.
Brahma Sutra Padaischaiva.
Brahma Sutra Padaischaiva.
Hetu Madbir Vinishchitai.
Hetu Madhvir Vinishchitai.
Hetu Madbir Vinishchitai.
Hetu Madhvir Vinishchitai.
Please repeat after me. That knowledge of the field of activities
That knowledge of the field of activities
and of the knower of the activities
and of the knower of the activities
is described by the various sages
is described by the various sages
in various Vedic writings.
in various Vedic writings.
It is especially presented in Vedanta Sutra with all reasoning
With all reasoning
as to cause and effect.
as to cause and effect.
Now, why is Krishna quoting sages and their writing here? Right? Because Krishna is not saying we should blindly accept this knowledge. Krishna wants us to know that some great people have done research on this also. And he is approving all that things by checking a box in this verse, saying that whatever they understood is also right. Right? A lot of people have done research on this field of activity, what this field is. Hare Krishna. There is a field of activities happening inside us. Yeah. So there is a big purport to this. You all can read, you know. So I'm trying to see what is the important part. So Krishna quotes two other authorities to substantiate his words. In the role of a guru, that thus presents a corresponding reference to sadhus and shastra. The sages here refer to the Vasishta Muni, Parasara Muni, Srila Vyasadeva and others. Some of the shastras he refers to are Vasishta Yoga, the Vishnu Purana, the Vedanta Sutra and Vedas themselves. So Krishna is also telling the importance of Vedas in this particular verse. He's saying that the Vedas are helpful for us to understand Kshetrajna, Kshetra. All these things can be understood through the Vedas. So he is telling that this knowledge, if you want to acquire, the right source to go to is Vedas. And Vedas are given by Krishna himself, right? So he's trying to first approve the sources and approve the authorities who have approved these sources. Sages, and you cannot go to philosophers. You can't understand what is life by going to a philosopher. YouTube has so many gurus now, right? Through them you will not understand what is Kshetrajna, Kshetra and all you can't understand. You have to come to the Vedas. Yeah, and hear from the right people, right? Now let's go to 13.6 and 7. This is a very, very important verse. Here is going to tell. Yes, Vedas are there forever. There is never a time the universe is there without Vedas. Vedas is everything about the universe. Everything about the universe. So the first person who received the Vedas is Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaya, Bhagavatam says, I am entering into the Brahma's heart in the form of Vedas, in the form of knowledge. And then through that Vedas, that knowledge, he creates the universe. Hiranyakashipu stole that Vedas and he kept it in his stomach. That is the reason Nrsimhadev came, ripped apart the stomach and removed the Vedas back. Right? So Vedic knowledge is very, very important knowledge. And it is given by Krishna himself. Vedas cannot be written by you and me. There is one relative of mine. Every time I meet her, she is like, I am writing Vedas. I said, very good. Keep writing Vedas. I don't know what she is writing, but you know her, right? One character on the planet. I am writing Vedas. Mani Vedalu. No. Vedanta Sutra is conclusion of the Vedas. Sutra means one single line statements. One single line statements. And that statement means a lot. Right? In the house, in Grahastha family, one statement means a lot. Name Ranpo. That is Grahastha Sutra. It means a lot. Oh, you didn't understand Hindi, right? मैं नहीं आऊंगी. ये सूत्र है. इसका मतलब बहुत कुछ है. So the same way, Vedas also have Vedanta Sutras. One single line has so much meaning behind it. Like Janmadhyasya Yataha. I am the cause of all causes. That's a Vedanta Sutra. Yathato Athato Brahma Jignasa. Aham Brahmasmi. One statement. And that one statement is enough to understand the entire Vedas. But Vedavyas understood that actually Vedavyas tried his best to present Vedas in the most understandable way. Because Vedas is such a big knowledge. He brought that Vedas into 108 Upanishads. And then he felt Upanishads are too complicated for normal people to understand. Then he wrote Vedanta Sutras, saying that the Sutras they'll understand. Then after writing that Sutra, he understood that these people can understand Sutras. By that time, IITs, IIMs all came. He knows these people will become even more dull-headed after reading all that. So how do I make these people understand? Then he wrote Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is a commentary of Vedanta Sutra. How to understand Vedanta Sutra? If you read Bhagavatam, you'll understand entire Vedanta Sutra, the conclusion of Vedas, like that. Veda Anta Sutra. Vedas ending with conclusions. Vedanta Sutra. Actually, if you look at our SSR course that we do now, it is exactly in the sequence of Vedanta Sutra. Janmadhyasya taha.
Who am I?
Anandamayo bhyasyat. Right? That's also another.
In search of happiness.
Where are you in search of happiness? Right? All that sequence. And that is the reason when Radha Gopinath Prabhu in Chopati created this course, Science of Self, it became very successful. Because it is not created by a normal human. It is created by Vedavyas himself. None of us can create that course. Right? None of us can create SSR. And if you try to fiddle with the sequence also, the results will be dangerous. If you take, somebody will take Who is God session. After half an hour, forget about who is God. People will, where are everybody? They'll run away. Right? So you have to go in that sequence. Find happiness. Then does God exist? What is the meaning of scriptures? Why should I believe in scriptures? What are the three modes of material nature? Who is a guru? Why I should follow the dharma principles? Then who am I? Then what is death? Right? And then you go into karma. Why are good things happening to bad people? Why are bad things happening to good people? Karma, destiny. And then finally, who is God? By that time, people are tired. Okay, Prabhu, whatever you tell, I'll accept. That's another way, right? And then you tell how to follow that God consciousness by ladder of yoga. And then finally, you conclude by practical application. Then they'll say, Prabhu, I'll apply whatever you tell. I'm surrendered. Right? The whole sequence is beautifully created so that people can easily implement. Yeah. So here in this, 13.6 to 7, please repeat after me. Yeah. Mahabhutani adhikaro. Sorry. Mahabhutani ahankaro. Buddhir avyaktam evacha. Indriyani dasaikam cha. Panchendriya gochara. Ichha dvesha sukham dukkham. Sanghatas chetana driti. Etat kshetram samasena. Sa vikaram udahritam. Right? Please repeat after me. This is very, now focus. I need a lot of your rapt attention. Otherwise, this chapter will skip away without transforming consciousness. The 5 great elements. What are the 5 great elements? No, 5 great elements. Earth, water, fire, ether. And what is air? Remember this. So if somebody can count. Can you take the job of counting? Keep like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. False ego. 6. Intelligence. 7. The unmanifested. The 10 senses. And the mind. The 5 sense objects. Desire. Hatred. Happiness. Distress. The aggregate. The life symptoms and convictions. These are all considered in summary to be the field of activities and their interactions. Okay? 26 items are there. 24.
Then super
Okay.
soul.
Huh?
Super soul is also.
Super soul is also there. But anyway. So in the kshetra, there are all these interactions happening. And the mobile phone. We have added that more kshetra. Anyway, so there are so many elements inside us. Even happiness and distress is an emotion inside us. And that also is being managed by our intentions and our desires. So when we are in control of our desires, we can actually see how the whole thing is functioning. See, we are identifying with kshetra. That is a problem right now. The day we stop identifying with kshetra, we'll see the reality. Too much philosophy, right? We are identifying with this body. That is the reason we are old. That is the reason we are young right now. The day you stop identifying with the body, what are you? Are you old or young? You're eternal. You don't identify with anymore. You're going to die. You say, okay, this engine is old now, it will go. No problem. Right? And when you're identifying with kshetra, you're suffering. And within the kshetra are also what? Desire, hatred, happiness is also there within you. There is something called hatred. Right? Now, as soon as you have a desire that is not fulfilled, that will get triggered. When you are hating somebody, if you remember that hatred is not me, hatred is an element within me, will you hate anybody? You cannot hate anybody. Right? Anger is an emotion within me. Anger is an emotion within me. I am not that anger. Can you become angry on anybody? You can't. What is the problem? We are identifying with those emotions. Right now, we are identifying with that emotions, and that is the reason we are suffering. A soul is suffering because we are identifying with that kshetra. We are not supposed to identify with the kshetra. We are supposed to go beyond the kshetra and go to the kshetragya, which is Krishna. This entire material world is kshetra. It is all happening. See, all these flats are there, this building is there, his desires, his hatred, his happiness, his this, your feelings, all these are elements. That's all. Just like earth, water, fire, hatred, happiness is also an emotion. Is also like an element only. As long as we recognize it, right? The greatness of great acharyas is they can immediately recognize that this element is triggering now, so the element is subsided. Because they don't identify with it. They use the elements for their understanding. For example, somebody goes to Srila Prabhupada and says, Prabhupada, we have constructed a big building. We are going to get a big building. Prabhupada, very nice, he's happy. But here he's using the happiness. He's not bound by the happiness. And tomorrow that same disciple will come and tell, Prabhupada, we lost that building. Oh, really? He's unhappy. But the unhappiness is not making him unhappy, he's just using that unhappiness. They're completely beyond the happiness and unhappiness, anger or hatred or anything. Anything doesn't affect because they can clearly see that all this is kshetra. All is kshetra. Sadhus cannot be moved by such unnecessary things because they're beyond the kshetra. They can clearly see what is going on. See, there's a private conversation, but I'm still sharing because I was very inspired. Recently, when Radhesham Prabhu came to our house, he's an amazing person. I keep repeating about him because he's not only my Shiksha Guru, but he's a very inspiring person within the ISKCON society, right? So I opened the door when he came out, and we were waiting for some brahmacharis, right? They're yet to land from the flight. So I told Radhesham Prabhu, by mistake I told. But not by, just I told, Prabhuji, brahmacharis are yet to come. Until then, you can take rest. In that 5 minutes, he gave me a discourse on what is the meaning of rest. Like, in my life, I will never tell him, Prabhu, take rest. So I told Prabhu, how can a brahmachari take rest? There is no question of taking rest. The only rest in this material world is when nothing is rest. Nothing is there, right? There is nothing called rest for a brahmachari, he told. There is nothing called rest. We are in a mission. We are here to serve Prabhupada. After we finish, our body is done, then we'll take rest in Goloka. So we'll take rest in Goloka. There is nothing called rest for a brahmachari. Then he said, okay, Prabhu, discourse over. But then he didn't stop there. He said, you know what my goal is? I want to only sleep for 2 hours because I'm wasting too much time. My God. For a moment, I was like, thank God I didn't become a brahmachari. Because if he's instructing me, I can only sleep for 2 hours. My wife knows how I sleep. Snoring, everything. Right? How can I sleep for? Can you sleep for 2 hours and live probably? Anybody? Do you have an aim of sleeping only 2 hours? Look at his thinking process. He's saying, bro, my goal is like Goswamis were sleeping only for 2 hours. I only want to sleep for 2 hours. That is where I'm aiming. So think is consciousness, a different level of consciousness. You can't. That's the reason when you go to satsang, don't try to suggest sadhus what they should do, what they should not do. We are a disturbance to sadhus actually. The sadhus are in different level. We are in different level. The problem is people come to satsang to give recommendations in satsang. You come here to satsang to take the recommendations of God to fix your life. But they come to satsang to give recommendations satsang. Never go to satsang and tell a sadhu how we should live. Never ever. Because sadhus have a different role, their level of consciousness is different. You can't match with that. You can't. But unfortunately, I see some devotees, they come and they give suggestions in the satsang. Prabhuji, don't give class for such a long time. Prabhuji, we should have more kirtan. Prabhuji, I think prasadam is too much. Prabhuji, I think, this venue is not right. Prabhuji, I think, okay, these are all looking like good suggestions only, but they're suggestions. But they are more affected by material consciousness. For a sadhu, he doesn't need a room like this. He doesn't need a stool like this. He doesn't need a mic like this. For a sadhu, satsang means he is here to deliver message of God. You understand? It's very important. Try to understand. You are not coming to satsang to make satsang like your house. Your house is already messed up. You don't have to bring that mess up into the satsang and say that this is Prabhuji, I think everybody are feeling uncomfortable. Satsang is meant to make everybody uncomfortable. To bring you out of that comfort zone. Isn't it? Once my Guru Maharaj, as well as Radhanath Swami Maharaj, was doing yatra. There, the agenda, the plan of the yatra, I heard this from some senior devotees, was they were supposed to go to Barsana, and from there they were supposed to go to Govardhan, and from not Govardhan, but Nandagaon, and from Nandagaon come back to Vrindavan. This something like that the plan was. So in Barsana you have these 3 hills, 3 heads of Brahma. You go on all these 3 heads, and then finally, 4 heads of Brahma. Sorry, 4 heads of Brahma. I decrease 1 head of Brahma. so 4 heads of Brahma. Then come down, and then there is a kund where Radharani comes and takes bath every day. Even today, you can't see her, but she comes. So that kund, there was supposed to be a discourse, and after that, by the time they come there, it should be around 12:30, and then Maharaj has to give a discourse till 1:30, and after that have prasadam by 2:30 wrap up, and then go to Nandagaon or something like that was a plan. So they all came, and so many managers are there in the satsang, right? So many IITs are there, IIT brahmacharis, IIM brahmacharis, CAs, CWS, I don't know what all, middle education. So they're all there, they're all planning. So Maharaj will sit here, everybody will sit this side, we'll keep the prasadam that side, and bus will wait this side. After discourse gets over, everybody will come this side, they'll have prasadam this side, and they'll go that side. So all the planning is done. But what is Maharaj thinking? Maharaj is thinking, how can everybody get the feeling of being in that place where Radharani comes here every day along with her Sakhis, and Krishna comes to play with them in that pond. That is his consciousness. I mean, that is how sadhus are. So he came there, and Maharaj started giving a discourse. 12:30 discourse started. 1:30 got over. one manager is coming. Maharaj, Prashadam. Somebody has to go and tell Maharaj, Prashadam time. So some signaling is happening. Maharaj, Gandha, Pranam. Maharaj is not even looking at that. Because Maharaj, what is thinking? Radharani is going to come now. Right? And all the Sakhis are going to come now. And how they are going to discuss with each other how to please Krishna. And how Krishna is also coming and hiding there, looking at Radharani and Sakhis playing in the water. And the discourse is 2:30. 3 o'clock. All the managers are thinking what to do with Prashadam. It's hot. We wanted to serve hot Prashadam to devotees. It has become cold now. And Maharaj is like, it's not stopping. And all the devotees sitting in except the managers, everybody else, yes, Maharaj. They are thinking about Radharani, they are thinking about Krishna. Everybody is immersed. 3:30. No indication, no symptom of lecture getting over. 4 o'clock. No symptom. 5 o'clock. No symptom. And then at 5 o'clock, Maharaj says, if you want me to continue, say Haribol. Managers are like, what is this? Somebody has to go and tell Maharaj that, we have to go to the next destination. Whole yatra is planned. This is there, that is there. Prashadam is there. Maharaj is like, so now Krishna comes to at 5 o'clock. Now Krishna is coming. Real pastime will happen after Krishna comes. Right? 6 o'clock. Lunch Prashadam is waiting there. Managers are all struggling. Not ordinary managers, like really, really intelligent managers. Then at 7 o'clock, they gave up. Okay, Maharaj, whether it is lunch or dinner, you only decide. Forget about it, right? And then Maharaj at 7 o'clock says, I think you're all feeling hungry. We'll have Krishna Prashadam. So, Prabhuji, can we have Prashadam now? The devotee, that manager, was completely struggled throughout the day. He's like, yes, Maharaj, we'll have Prashadam. Wherever Maharaj. It's given up. Right? And then they have Prashadam. Right? And then they start bringing the Prashadam and keeping it there. Right? Because now, Maharaj says, can we have one Kirtan before Prashadam? Maharaj! When everybody says, Haribol! Then Maharaj starts Kirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol. Right? Beautiful Kirtan at the place where Radharani and her Sakhis are coming. 8 o'clock. Is the Prashadam ready? It is ready. Let's have Prashadam. Lunch Prashadam is happening at 8 o'clock in the night. And there were no lights in that area. I'm talking about 92, 93 yatras. These are the ecstatic yatras of those times. Right? Where people used to go to a location that everybody is sitting. Hardly 200 people can sit at that place. 2,000 people are sitting. Don't ask me where. Some people have climbed the trees. Some people are, almost inside the pond. Right? Some people are, I don't know where, which house they have gone. They're sitting in that house and watching. Right? So that is how the yatras are. Right? And finally they had Prashadam. And by the time they came back to Vrindavan, no more other location directly Vrindavan, it was 12 o'clock in the night. And next day morning, Mangalarti at 4 o'clock. Right? So the managers are completely tired and completely smashed out. When some people are, I'm not going to come to Yatra next time. I'm not going to take care of Prashadam. This is enough, What is the point? You made Prashadam. Prashadam is devotees only, right? Devotees have to be happy, right? But our intention are devotees only, right? Say, no. Then Maharaj, you think Maharaj doesn't know all this? He knows all this. So after the whole Yatra, at the end, so I don't know if it was Maharaj asked or somebody else asked, the audience they asked. So what was the best Kirtan and the best place in the entire Yatra that you liked? And all the managers are like, I know the worst place. And categorically, all the devotees told, Maharaj, that afternoon to night that we spent at that kund, where you told Radha Krishna's Leela of how Radharani comes there to take bath and how Krishna, that was the best time of our entire yatra, they told. Then Maharaj looked at all the managers like all the managers like, this is too much. So what I'm trying to tell Roger Mataji is, we're not coming to satsang to make it a structured event with a structured time, with a structured aim. Our goal here is to become Krishna conscious. Don't try to find comfort in satsang. Don't try to find comfort in satsang. Am I comfortable here? Is everything right? Today the prasadam may not be that tasty. That's okay. But prasadam is prasadam. Right? Prasadam sometimes is more. Prasadam sometimes is less. But prasadam is prasadam. That should not be your main centered focus. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Here we are trying to come to become Krishna conscious. Immerse into Krishna. After going out of this hall, do your nonsense management, your office, you do that management, your house, you do that management. But in satsang, Krishna is managing everything. Yeah. And as a preacher, I should also, or you should also, if you're preaching, do our best to keep things comfortable. But that is not the goal. That is not the goal. Keep the goal that you want to become Krishna conscious. That is the main goal. Don't bring your suggestions into satsang. Right? Take suggestions from satsang of how your life should be. Right? Sometimes, if you remember your own life, what were the best moments with your friends? Close your eyes, all of you. Just close your eyes for 30 seconds. Just all of you close your eyes. What is the best moment with your best friends? Try to remember. Yeah. I can tell you one thing. That was not a comfortable situation. It was a crisis situation in which you and your friends somehow figured out what to do or something like that. Right? Most of the time, I'm not telling everybody, but the difficult times in our life, when devotees are between us, when friends are between us, those are the most memorable things in life. You'll never remember a comfortable situation in your life in your memory. Right? The most difficult times are the times, like whenever my father speaks, he speaks about how he used to rent a cycle to take me on that cycle. He didn't even have a cycle. Right? When I was born, he didn't even have a cycle. He was junior assistant clerk. That was his post in army, defense. What was the post? Not clerk, not junior, not assistant. All three are there. Junior, assistant, clerk. Right? And those are the best times he remembers. Right? In our life also, we will not remember the times when we have so much money and opulence. We'll always remember the times when we did not have anything. Right? When life goes upside down. There was a time I didn't even have a car. I had a bike. And me, my wife, Parth and Hriday were going on a small bike in India. Difficult, right? But those are the most cherished times. A small car, a small house, and satsang in that place is more memorable than a comfortable AC hall with everything. It's not that memorable, right? The same in spiritual life also, the struggles that we go through to receive Krishna's mercy are more memorable things. And we should always cherish those. We should not hate those. We should never feel upset. We should always feel, this will become the most cherishable moment in future. Like that, right? So, all these things together are field of activities, and a sadhu can see all these things very clearly. He'll never see for comfort. And tell you one more very important thing that we all grahasthas should know. Don't try to give too much comfort to brahmacharis also. Don't even suggest that. Even suggesting that is a disservice. Why? Because brahmacharis have voluntarily given up those comforts to focus more on Krishna. Right? Let them be in that austerity. I mean, I'm not saying that you have to give them austerity. But if they want to be in austerity, like if they want to sleep down, be respectful. Okay, Prabhuji, you want to sleep? You can sleep now. Don't force them. Prabhuji, sleep upper. Nice mattress, big mattress. Please sleep. You if you sleep there, I'll feel happy. No, don't do that. Right? If their brahmachari is saying, no, enough prashadam, don't serve me more. Don't push them for more. No, you're doing disservice. You're activating their senses, which they have deactivated for Krishna. Right? Showing them more opulence. Right? Never give a huge money donation to brahmachari. Instead, give it to the temple. Tell him that give it in the temple. And brahmachari also never keeps a donation with him. If brahmachari keeps donation, in few months he'll become a grahastha. As simple as that. Money is very dangerous. Very dangerous. Right? We should never bring that comfort zone, not only for brahmacharis, even for us also. No too much opulence is needed. Right? Sometimes one time I was thinking, I think we should hire a hall with AC for every week satsang because we are 100 now. Or we are 150 now. We should have a bigger hall. But that's also a problem. Too much comfort will come to this. This is okay, right? All of us are nicely sitting, somehow adjusted. Somebody is sitting eternally in that direction only. Because he can't turn this side. Right? There is no space to move. He is sitting like this and watching me like this. That's okay. That's okay. You know, that discomfort is okay. Because as long as in the discomfort, we are becoming more firm than Krishna consciousness. Too much comfort can deteriorate our Krishna consciousness. We'll get more attracted to the field of activities. We'll get more attracted to the Kshetra, not Kshetrajna. Are you all understanding? Krishna is going to explain about Kshetra elaborately in this chapter. But the end of the chapter he says, don't focus on that Kshetra. Don't identify with that Kshetra. If you identify with that Kshetra, you will not come to me. Yeah. Any questions at this point? Yeah. Does it mean you should not suggest good ideas in the satsang? You can suggest, but the goal is not comfort. The goal is not comfort. Satsang should happen in whichever situation we are, whichever condition we are. If we have to do satsang in that hall, we should be ready to do satsang in that hall, that hall way. That's okay. No comfort is needed. Right? But when you're inviting somebody to your home, you should do your best to give them comfort as a host. That is your duty. But the person coming to satsang should not expect any comfort here. That is the point. Right? For example, there are some devotees, they have too many conditions. I mean, I'm just sharing with you that how material energy is so affecting every devotee or many devotees. Why is the mic not good? Why is the Vyasasana not good? Why the people are not, I think the house is not perfect. Such people are not sadhus. They're struggling to be sadhus. You understand? Sadhu means he's right to give a discourse, he's right to do kirtan in whatever situation you have. Once we went to one house, and they did not have kartal or mudanga, anything. So they said, Prabhuji, do kirtan. I was like, we'll do kirtan, but how will you do kirtan? Then immediately we remembered, once we did kirtan in one house, where my Siksha Guru told how to do kirtan when there is no kartal. You want to know how? Take one plate, one karta. Tang, 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 tang. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You can do this. You don't need anything for this. Take a plate and one spoon, that becomes your karta. So no problem, no stoppage in Sankirtan. Don't get affected by the allurements of Kshetra. Kshetra will give you so many things. But the Kshetra is actually a problem. Become more Kshetrajna consciousness. Right? So I'll read the purport here. It's very important. So please try to focus. Okay. Yeah. From all the authoritative statements of the great sages, the Vedic hymns and aphorisms of Vedanta Sutra, the components of this world can be understood as follows. Prabhupada is explaining. First, there are earth, water, fire, air, and ether. These are the 5 great elements, Mahabhuta. Then there are false ego, intelligence, and the unmanifested stage of the 3 modes of material nature. Right? Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Then there are 5 senses for acquiring knowledge. What are the 5 senses? The eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue, and the skin. Then the 5 working senses, the voice, the legs, the hands, the anus, the genitals. Then above the senses, there is mind, which is within and which can be called the sense within. Therefore, including the mind, there are 11 senses altogether. Right? 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, and the mind. Then there are 5 objects of the senses. What are the objects of senses? Smell, taste, form, touch, and sound. Now, the aggregate of these 24 elements is called the field of activity. If one makes an analytical study of these 24 subjects, then he can very well understand the field of activity. Then there is desire. Now, apart from this, then there is desire, hatred, happiness, and distress, which are interactions, representations of the 5 great elements of the gross body. The living symptoms represented by consciousness and convictions are manifestation of the subtle body, mind, ego, and intelligence. Now I'll repeat the sentence. The living symptoms represented by consciousness and convictions are the manifestation of the subtle body, mind, ego, and intelligence. These subtle elements are included within the field of activities also. So Kshetra is not only these elements, but also the emotions which are also there within the Kshetra. Right? So just imagine you are putting 13 dots here, you're putting 13 dots here, and then you're taking a pen and you're joining these dots. You go like this, 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 like this. You keep attaching from here to there, here to there, here to there, from that corner to this corner, from this corner to that corner, straight, perpendicular, here, there, right? That is nothing but our life. That is what we are doing right now. There's so many dots, we are joining this dot. One day here, one day there, one day here, one moment here, one moment there. Right? You are going happiness, distress. And when there is distress, you have gross body problems. Then when you are in depression, subtle body problems, psychological problems. Right? And when there is no problem, happiness. When you achieve something, joy. When you lose it, hatred. Right? All these are just merely a bunch of elements between which we are like a pinball. Have you seen do you know the game called pinball? Right? Just like a pinball, we are going around here and there. Tack, 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 tack. Right? And how is Maya chasing us? Like Pac-Man. Remember the game Pac-Man? Yeah? Pack, 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 pack. They were running. Right? Maya is chasing behind. And what are we eating? Little things that Pac-Man keeps studying. You know Maya is coming from that side. I eat that one thing. You don't need to eat that. You can just keep going from there. No, I want to eat that. Maya will come and grab you. Huh?
Spiral. Downward spiral.
Downward spiral. Isn't it? That is how life is. And a sadhu can see this. Sadhu can see all this happening. That is the reason when we take our problems in front of great sannyasis, like if you go to, his own Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, and you go and tell, I have a lot of problems in life. He'll just look at you and say, tell me what your problems are. He has so many problems. He doesn't even look at his problems. Right? Prabhupada never looked at his problems. Prabhupada is all the time on the run, establishing Krishna consciousness. Right? Recently, I'm just sharing, not that I want to tell my personal things. I was getting lot of chest pain. 3 months back, I got immense chest pain. Then they felt from behind. They said it's back, some catch, muscle catch, something like that, some gastric thing. If I have too much paneer now, I'm getting next day morning. So it's not working. Some foods are not working. As you age, some food you can't eat like before. So I think 3 days back, I got too much pain again. And I had so many works planned that day. And the pain was like increasing so much that I can't even breathe now. I don't know if it's heart, right? So I don't know if it's chest, or some people are telling that we better get it checked up. I called Krishna Dulal Prabhu. So immediately called Krishna Prabhu, tell me something. So Prabhuji told, first go and get an ECG done to prove you have a heart. Then we can fix that heart. Provided that check. So I went to Sunshine Hospital. My wife was there, my mother was there. So they did a ECG. They said, okay, heart is there, no problem. Next, it is also functioning, 2D echo. That also happened. Then I went and told the doctor, doctor, do you also do angiogram? I said, what is the reason for angiogram? You all said, no problem. You have a heart and is properly functioning. There is a muscle catch behind, right? So then I took a medicine for that muscle catch. Then slowly it subsided. So many problems in the body. So many problems, isn't it? But a sadhu doesn't identify with the problems. Sadhu simply understands that his body is bound to give problems. What is there to be surprised? Right? Actually, people, they go into depression because they don't accept the problems of body. Old age is a problem for people who don't accept that they're old. Isn't it? Buddha ho gaya to Buddha raho na. Kya problem? No, I want to become like young. Suffer. You try to become like young, then you'll suffer. Right? How many ever hair dyes you put? How much ever you try to bring back the figure of a young man, but you can't become young. All your parts, warranty is gone. No more replacement. You will have to die one day, but they don't want to accept that. Right? But a sadhu sees beyond. Prabhupada would never get stopped by his body. And one more important thing, spiritual people have spiritual energy. They actually operate on spiritual energy, not like mental energy. If we people don't eat for 2 days, we'll feel completely discharged with, it'll become so, what do you call that? Weak. But spiritual people, sometimes they don't eat for 2 days also, they'll be more energetic. I remember in New York City, once my Guru Maharaj, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he was giving lecture and everybody were attending, and I don't know if you have seen how he sits. Like this he sits. 1 hour like this, 2 hours like this, 4 hours like this. There is never he says, it doesn't be there. He's like this. And many sadhus are like that. If you see in ISKCON, many sadhus, advanced devotees, they sit like this. That's it. They are very, their body is like, it's running on spiritual energy. And after the whole lecture got over, it was a long lecture in New York City. After the lecture got over, Maharaj, you have very nice kirtan and everything. Then 2 of his disciples came. They lifted him with hands and they took him into the room. Everybody is shocked. What is this? He was giving discourse for 4 hours. And after the 4-hour discourse, one person came like that, literally lifted him like a small boy and took him into the room. And they thought, hey, Maharaj, what happened? He's sick for the last 3 days. He's not eating. He's not able to eat well. He's vomiting, and he's not well. Then how did he give 4 hours discourse? Because it is spiritual energy. We can't understand that. So sadhus are operating in a different level, a different field of activity, beyond the field of activity. So we can't compare ourselves with them. Right? I'll tell you one more incident. This I heard from my god sister. She, they invited. So Maharaj was traveling. Radhanath Swami Maharaj was traveling in US, and he went to one house. And after that house, he has a program. So he's just going there to visit them. That Mataji's desire was, I want to cook something for my guru. So she went on and she was going on cooking. She's going on cooking. Maharaj is sitting there. He has to eat and go. His main goal is the next program. So he has to eat and go. He's just waiting. Okay, when will the dish get over? And then Maharaj's servant went and asked that Mataji, Maharaj is waiting. He has to go to the next program. And the Mataji, Prabhuji, one last thing. Just one last thing. I'm making that last pasta. I want to serve my guru. I don't know when I'll get that opportunity. Then the Prabhuji is like, Mataji, Maharaj is very particular about time. He has to go. Please, whatever you made, you give. No, this is my last chance. Please. Then he went and told my Guru Maharaj that, please, Maharaj, she's still cooking. Then Maharaj is like, okay, I'll wait. Right? And After she brought all those things in front of Maharaj, and there was hardly 20 minutes left. He has to leave and he has to go there for the next program. Then Maharaj, taka, 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 he started eating everything. And he looked and he told that Mati, are you happy? Are you happy? She said, yes, Maharaj, I'm very, very happy. Yeah. Then Maharaj told one statement. He said, you know why I ate what you made, all these things? Why I waited? Because I know the effort you have put. I know the effort and with the love you are making for pleasing me and pleasing Prabhupada. You are putting all that effort. That is the reason I ate. Do you know how much I feel when I prepare for a lecture for all of you and you don't come on time? And you don't hear attentively? How much I feel? Right? Exactly like how you will feel if I don't eat this and go. Right? And I don't know if it is that very day or maybe some other day. Maharaj went and after the lecture he vomited everything. Really vomited everything. And then the disciples, Maharaj, why did you eat? He said, but if I don't eat, she'll be displeased. They want to serve. They can't access Prabhupada, but they are showing the love for Prabhupada through all of us. Right? So sadhus actually don't want our food in the house. They don't care what we are preparing also. But they are more focused on how to give us Krishna. Sadhu means the one who can keep aside kshetra. Completely. They're not affected by the kshetra. 5 senses, objects of senses. They'll just keep all that aside. And they're only focused on Krishna. Right? We are all affected by kshetra. We are too much kshetra conscious. Are you all following? But when you're dealing with sadhus, don't try to bring that kshetra between you and sadhu. But that is not exactly what they want. Am I confusing all of you? I'm trying to put a context and example. Kshetra is there, right? But our main focus of satsang is to connect with kshetrajna. So why is Krishna giving the knowledge of kshetra? So that we identify what is kshetra. And we know that we are not that kshetra. We are not these 5 elements. We are not these 5 senses. We are not these sense objects. We are not this, the active or working senses. And we are not either happiness, we are not either distress, we are not either hatred, we are beyond all this. But unfortunately, we are bound in this right now. We are bound in this right now. Prabhupada is so beautifully explaining, and further read. The 5 great elements are a gross representation of false ego, which in turn represents the primal stage of false ego, technically called the materialistic conception or tamasa buddhi, intelligence and ignorance. This further represents the unmanifested stage of the 3 modes of mental nature. The unmanifested modes of mental nature are called pradhana. Pradhana. When Mahavishnu, he creates all these elements, they're all floating like a cloud. Right? It's called Mahat Tattva. And they are surrounded by pradhana, the unmanifested stage of 3 modes of mental nature. What do the 3 modes of mental nature do? Tamasic, sattvic and rajasic. They'll keep giving choices. These all elements are there. They're all still. Then the tamasic choice will come. Okay, what do you want to do? Rajasic choice will come. Okay, what do you want to do? Sattvic choice will come. Okay, what do you want to do? So we get interacted by all those things. Right? But the person who is in Shuddha Sattva is not affected. Like, I know this is elements. I know this is all these emotions. I'm not going to get affected. I'm only going to focus on Narayana. Right? That is the focus. So sadhu is in that state of consciousness. Right? So why am I telling examples of a lot of sadhus in this lecture is, we are all going to meet some great sannyasis in future. Right? Like say, as well as Lokanath Swami Maharaj, Indradunya Swami Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, Radhanath Swami Maharaj. When you're dealing with them, don't try to impress them with kshetra. They are beyond kshetra. That is not the goal. But you should try to give them the best possible facility, but don't think that they are happy because you have given that facility. You are in big illusion if you are thinking like that. For example, you booked a great hotel room for a great sannyasi. And he comes and tells you, thank you very much. Don't think, I booked a hotel room, that is the reason he's saying thank you. No, you are a fool. He's only thinking, oh, he is willing to serve sadhus nicely. So I want to bless him. That's all. Right? They're very simple people. I remember one incident with Chinnajir Swami Maharaj also. Once he was going in a flight, and me and my wife, we went for a marriage in Vizag, and we were coming back, and suddenly I saw Chinnajir Swami Maharaj entering the flight. Like, wow, now I'm safe. Even if I die, I'll die with a great sannyasi. Sannyasi will take me back to God. So I was like sitting there. And after some time, we were sitting like 5 seats behind, and one air hostess came. And she was like speaking to Maharaj, and Maharaj was trying to explain, and she was like very arrogantly speaking. I didn't like, I felt something is wrong. Then I was telling her, I'll go. And she was like, no, wait and see what will happen. No, I want to go. So I finally went there. And I saw that she's trying to tell Maharaj that this danda has to be kept in the check-in. It cannot be taken in the flight. I felt so horrible. And she was trying to take that danda. And it is absolutely not allowed for Matajis, especially, to touch the danda. Even we should not touch unless the permission is given by sannyasi. Right? There are many reasons why. Now look at the situation of Bharat Varsha. Is a danda of a sannyasi is not being allowed to be with the sannyasi in the flight. And Maharaj was trying to nicely explain, but that female was not trying to understand. She was arguing that you can't keep. First of all, I don't know how this was allowed. She doesn't know the greatness of that person sitting there, right? The person of that personality, the stature of that sadhu, she doesn't know. Then I went there and I told Maharaj, can I deal with this? He's like, okay. Then I told Mataji, you're not supposed to hold. First of all, you should not touch that. And what is the problem if it is there in the? I'll talk to whoever you want. You call your manager or She said, I asked her finally that who is the person who should approve this? You tell me that first. Who is the person who should approve this? By that time, the flight already took, few meters back. It was going towards the runway. And you're like, you should not get up and stand. Already the flight is moving. I said, I'm okay now. You tell me whose approval is needed. Then it stopped at one point, and then she told, if the pilot is okay, I'm okay. Then I told her, go call the pilot. There is a co-pilot. The co-pilot came. They said, this is the danda of a sannyasi. I don't know if you understand the greatness of this, but it cannot be kept away from him. It should be with him. Then luckily that co-pilot told, okay, we don't have a problem. It can be kept on the side. Beside, like that. As long as the people sitting behind don't have a problem. People sitting behind were like, okay, we are fine with it. Danda. So danda was kept there. Then I went back. I said, thank you, Maharaj. Then I got down. Everything happened. Right? So just see the misfortune of our country. The place where sadhus, are originating from this part of the world. They don't even know basics of how to treat a sannyasi, how to be with a sannyasi. Right? They don't even have basics. So after 2 years, roughly after that incident, I went to Chinnajir Swami Ashram. Along with Radhesham Prabhu, I went. So we went and Maharaj allowed us to sit in the room. So they were having a discussion. That I was like, this misfortune phase, I will remember. Right? So I was just sitting there. Then at the end, I told Maharaj, you remember I had argued with that air hostess for your danda that day. Then Maharaj told, I thought you will open an airline for sadhus. Yes, Maharaj, So sadhus are beyond all these things. They are beyond comforts. They don't look for comfort. They just look for, basic facilities, and they want to preach Krishna's message. And the goal of this chapter, as we continue, we'll stop it here. What is the time? We'll stop it here. So the goal of the chapter is to make us understand what is Kshetra in depth, analytical, Sankhya Yoga. We all should learn this. Next few verses are going to be even more intriguing, where we'll get into what is knowledge. What are the types of knowledge? And then Krishna says, this is only knowledge. And then Krishna speaks about Kshetra Jnana. Krishna Jnanam and then Gneyam. Gneyam means what is supposed to be understood. What we have understood and what is supposed to be understood. So don't miss those and become an expert in that 13th chapter. I'm telling you, you can deal with your life very peacefully if you understand 13th chapter. Because then you can see how the material modes are functioning and how we should not get attached or detached or affected by all these things. Right? Any questions? Yes, sir.
One question is why unmanifested also is being considered as out of this 24. That is one question. And what is the difference?
Sorry, your question is why unmanifested also is being counted in this elements? Yeah.
That is one question. Another one is what is this difference between unmanifested and pradhana?
Unmanifested and pradhana. Okay. What is the difference? Okay. So one part of the question I can answer. Second part I'll have to ask. So the point is actually all the 24 elements and which includes the 3 modes of mental nature, everything is unmanifested. Not only the modes, everything is unmanifested. And as soon as Lord Narayana, Mahavishnu, he glimpses on it, then the Kala Shakti enters it. And everything becomes manifested. Everything starts functioning. No, it's like 24 toys on the floor. They're all ready. And the remote is the time. As soon as the time is pressed, immediately all the toys are going. They're all going everywhere. Right? Until the time chakra. So the Kala chakra is started by Mahavishnu. Until that stable cloud in the material universe with all these elements is called Mahat Tattva. Right? And this 3 modes of mental nature in unmanifested form is called Pradhana. That's how they are termed. But the whole thing is called Mahat Tattva. And when Lord Vishnu glimpses on it, the whole Mahat Tattva starts functioning. And the time element starts. And 2001, 2002, 2020, 2022, everything is functioning.
So that unmanifested becomes manifested.
Manifested. Yeah, you can.
Manifest means not that they're not available.
They're available.
They're there. Manifest doesn't mean they don't exist. They're there, but we can't see them. So that's what unmanifest. But when all of them mix, same come out. That's what agitates.
Prabhupada uses the word agitates.
Material creation, then time comes, then falls into enters.
Very nice way of saying that, you have colors. You have all colors. All these elements are like colors. And when you paint it, that means it's manifested. Something. They exist.
Proper chapter so many times. Don't think it unmanifested means nothing is there. It's there.
Yeah.
But it's like a raw material.
Yeah, Prabhuji,
You know what is alloy, right? Alloy is a mixture of what metals are there. But the alloy is a result of what we are seeing there.
yeah, Prabhupada touches stock room
Stock room.
of all the elements, and then you bring them out and make them different.
Yes. It's there.
Mahashtattva is stock room.
It's there. When it is triggered, it comes out. Like right now, are you all angry? You are, but it is not manifested. It is there. Under it. Right? It will manifest when the right trigger comes. Top will come out. Prabhuji, Prasadam did not arrive. What? You say 8:30? Manifested. So, unmanifested, manifested. Only people in ISKCON, devotees in ISKCON know all these words. Manifested, unmanifested, bodily concepts of life, transcendental. The other day in my office, my senior vice president, he told that report you have not sent. I said it will manifest in some time. What did you tell? No, I'm making it, it will come. Unmanifested, it will manifest. So we keep using these words, So Prabhupada has given us these special words that we don't know, we keep using them everywhere, right? sometimes in the office we keep writing, I was not working for a long time. Like 6 years I was not working. So every email was like Hare Krishna, Dandavad Pranam, and your servant, at the below. So one day in the office I sent, to one manager, project manager, said your project gross margin is below 40%, which is not good for the company. Your servant Lilananda.
Happens.
Happened with you?
Yeah. Prabhu, I add for the cost also.
Prabhu.
Instead of yes, we tell Haribol.
Yes, Haribol. Haribol came so many times. In meetings also it comes sometimes.
We have to stop explicitly.
The price got a Haribol.
Especially Monday, we have to explicitly stop reading Hare Krishna. Suddenly Hare Krishna comes. When people come.
What did you say? She asked Parth, and Parth said,
Thank you very much.
your consciousness is not so elevated that you will understand.
Really? He told that?
There is something like that.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, our fights are Haribol. Our happiness is Haribol. Everywhere Haribol we use. Haribol? प्रसाद अभी तक नहीं Haribol? घर में मम्मी आप भी लड़ रहे Haribol. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Get up. Even fight. So Krishna is there everywhere. That is the point. Krishna is there everywhere. So we'll have a small kirtan. Yeah. Haribol. Haribol. So my humble request is, please sing from your heart, right? Kirtan means to cry. I am repeating this off late because I am hearing this from some great sadhus that we should learn how to cry. It's not about being loud. It's about shouting it out. Krishna's name should come out, right? Completely. In this hall, there is only you and Krishna. None of them are there. Think like that and please sing. Okay? And sometimes we even off the lights so that you don't look at each other, how he's shouting, she's shouting. Right? You just shout. Okay. So if somebody can off the lights, you can off the lights. He called today? Prabhuji, I wanted to say, Subbarao Prabhu encouraged his boss, who is unmanifested atheist or unmanifested devotee, right? And he donated like 12 lakh rupees for educating villages in Sanatana Dharma. Very good. That is manifested. Yes. And not only for 1 year, but upcoming 4 years he is going to give every year 12 lakhs like that. So because of Prabhuji, so many children in so many villages will be benefited. And Gaurang Prabhu called Prabhuji just
I
now.
asked him 2 minutes, can he bless the audience here? He said, no, I should distribute a class.
Oh, now he called?
No, that's how I was
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
He might call you. He asked me.
Yes. Okay, so is everybody ready to sing? How many are there in the room right now? Only 2, right? Kshetra is there. Kshetragya, small Kshetragya and big Kshetragya. Right? So please everybody, this kirtan should be the best kirtan of your week. And this kirtan, you should connect with Krishna. Okay? Everybody can close your eyes if you want, but try to focus on the holy names and try to sing from your heart. Cry to Krishna that Krishna, please remove this Kshetra consciousness out of me, and I want to connect with you and come back to you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय ओम विष्णुपाद ब्रह्म प्रकाचार्य स्तोत्र दिवान के देसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद ब्रह्म प्रकाचार्य स्तोत्र दिवान के भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय प्रेम से बोलो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद की ओम श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ राजकुंड श्याम कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुर धाम की जय पुण्य क्षेत्र वृंदावन धाम की जय गंगे माई की जय यमुने माई की जय भक्ति देवी की जय कलियुग पावन तुलसी महारानी की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय ट्रांसलेंडल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय ट्रांसलेंडल प्रसाद डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय निताई गौर हरि प्रेमानंद glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, Vancha Kalpatarubhya Kripa Sindhobhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki Jai Gaur Premanand. Couple of announcements. You can switch on the lights. After this, we'll have nursing arti and so Janmashtami is coming, right? So some communities are doing programs, and I'm going to send a message in the group saying who is doing program where. So there is Friday, Janmashtami is on Friday. So Friday we are doing one program in My Home Krishi, and we are doing one program in Green Grace Apartments, and we are doing one program in Trendset Apartments. Is that right? Yeah. It's a Friday. Huh? August 19th is Friday. Yeah. So, and after that, there is one more program happening in, Janmashtami program. Yeah, I'll tell VSK program also. Okay. Yeah. So on Saturday morning, we are doing Nandotsav in Vaishnav Seva Kuj. We are doing Gau Puja in Vaishnav Seva Kuj, right? Morning 7 o'clock onwards, right? And Prabhupada appearance day, 125th appearance day, right? So we're going to celebrate that. I humbly request, please write down your gratitude to Srila Prabhupada for what he has given us. Whatever we are doing here, we're just repeating Prabhupada's words. So write it down, or at least write down what you want to say. And that day, pour out your heart for Prabhupada. And when you pour out that heart, it's a private emotion, but it will inspire many others, right? We are here to inspire each other in spiritual life. Right? If your inspiration will inspire somebody else, that's the whole outcome of the offering. Right? So each one of us will get 5 minutes time, roughly 4 to 5 minutes time on 20th of August to express our gratitude to Prabhupada. It will exactly start from morning 8:30 until 12:30. 4 hours. And trust me, 4 hours will fly. When you start hearing from everybody how they love Prabhupada and what they think about Prabhupada, whatever little you have feeling for Prabhupada, please write it, and how grateful we are for Prabhupada, right? We should write that. So 12:30 we'll have Aarti, and then we'll have Nandotsav feast, and we'll have Go Puja also. I'll send a schedule of Saturday, right? So Janmashtami is being celebrated in 3 communities. 4th community I'll discuss with you, Mataji. We have yet to discuss about Avatar. Yeah, but 3 of them are right now finalized. On Friday, right? We are celebrating Aditya Reddy sir also. Very well, very well.
Lake breeze also.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. So in Lake Breeze, it is happening in Silver Oaks, it is happening on Sunday. On Sunday. And how about Lake Breeze? They're doing on Sunday. Okay. So my humble request to all the devotees here is, we want volunteers to help the devotees who are conducting in these communities. For example, in Krishi, I at least need 3 to 4 families to come and help you on that day. We will divide ourselves so that we can nicely help each other celebrate. See, we want to celebrate at one place together, but we also want to reach out to many, many people so that get an opportunity of serving Krishna, right? So in Green Grace, please, nominate whoever wants to go and support Mahesh Prabhu, Subbarao Prabhu, Satya Prabhu, and everybody who are celebrating in Green Grace, right? And in Aparna community also, only few Matajis are there, but some of us can go there and help them also, right? And Krishi also, I need some support. So how many communities are we talking about right now? 4, right? Trendset also, Trendset wins. So I think we are close to 60 to 70 families already in the Satsang, regularly coming and fixed up. So even if 15 of us can split into 4 places, it will be a great support. Receiving people. See, people want to experience love of Krishna, and love of Krishna is manifested through devotees. So when we show that warmth and we show that inviting, attitude towards everybody, then they will also be more inspired to take up Krishna consciousness, right? So please let us split into 4 groups on Friday. Friday is Janmashtami day. You all can try to work from home, or you can take half-day leave. And if they don't give leave, you know what to do. You can resign. You can take back that resignation on Monday. Right? So you have that chance, right? So you can do that. Huh? He's prepared. Yeah. So that is Friday. So please be early for your services. Don't come at the end. That is not going to help anybody, right? Be enthusiastic in coming first and helping, right? So that is Friday. And Saturday, everybody please come to VSK by 7 o'clock. Don't delay coming at 7:15. Pure devotee appearance at 8 o'clock. What is that? Parvrajikachari appearance at 8:30. We don't want. We want all of you to be there at 7 o'clock. So please try to come as early as you can. And if somebody wants to go and sleep in VSK also, that's also okay. But since we have Friday evening program, it's difficult for us to do that. So it's better you come there as early as you can. And Saturday remaining day, we don't have any other program. Saturday is kind of empty. In My Home Jewel, Bhagavad Prabhu is doing Janmashtami in My Home Jewel. If somebody wants to support that, you can go. Like Mahalingam Prabhu is going there. But Sunday, so that weekend is totally packed. Okay, so if any relatives coming home, that's not your relative, that is Maya. So tell them not now. Simple. Or take them to Goloka. Yeah. So this is one announcement. And second is Kirtaniya Sadahari. Right? We are tired of different kinds of beat, different kinds of kartal beat, different kinds of mridanga beats. You see how nicely Prabhuji is playing mridanga. So the classes for Kirtaniya Sadahari are starting from 28th of August, Sunday. And we all have to buy mridangas, right? It's not a big investment. If you think it is too big, sell your house. Buy the mridanga. Okay? So at least 2 mridangas for family, so that you can, So there are 2 mridanga classes that will happen: 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So 3 to 4 batch will be children and some of the preachers, so that they will go into another room. And we are also starting youth preaching classes for our children who are almost entering the 13 and 14. All children about 12 years will attend classes, separate classes from 4 to 5. And we are going to give them not only spiritual education, but also smart education, how to become a better person in future, value education, and even some good skills, like how to be a good presenter, how to communicate well. All those things also. Hare Krishna. One, just so that everybody listens. Yeah. Okay, are you all? Yeah, let's do that. So your Sunday starts at 3 o'clock, ends at 8:30, right? But during the time, you will have some music teaching, and you'll all learn music. from 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 2 batches. Already 50 of them have subscribed. I'm sure there will be little more. We are planning to stop at 30-member batch. Yeah, there is. I'll send the link again. You can click that in PG24 and you can join. Right? That is Kirtane Sadahari. And I've already negotiated the price of Mridanga. It is coming to 3,500 rupees per Mridanga, clay Mridanga from Mayapur. If you can transport it, maybe another 1,000 rupees per transport. Right? But let us get that combined stock at once. Right? So if you are a family of 4, then 2 people can do it between 3 to 4 batch. The same Mridanga can be used by another 2 from 4 to 5 batch. After the Mridanga class is over, everybody will take the Mridangas to their cars and keep it in the cars. Because if you keep the Mridangas here, there will be only Mridangas and me. There will not be place to sit. so keep it back in the cars and come back. 5 o'clock normal satsang will start. Huh? Yeah. so that is the plan. And we are all going to Yatra. Most of us are going to Yatra in Kartik month from October 27th to 31st. Right? But before that, we want to do one small Yatra, weekend Yatra to Pune and GEV. Yeah. So we'll announce the dates. We will most probably during Dasara holidays, something like that. Yeah. All we need is 4 days. So Pune will spend 2 days and GEV will spend 2 days and then come back. High level plan is train from here to Pune, then bus from Pune to GEV and flight from Bombay to Hyderabad. Something like that. Right? If somebody wants to take a ship and come through Kerala and back to, you can, it's your wish. Nobody will stop. But the point is, this is the high level plan. Okay? So I'll request one child to come and sing Nursing Art. You want to sing? Yes. Sing.
Namaste Narasingh